My guest today is an industry titan and has worked in multiple facets of the industry as a radio presenter, as a producer, as a TV host, as a music video director, and of course, most recently, as a filmmaker. I'm talking about none other than Kemi Adetiba.
Yay!
Welcome to the Juice, Kemi. Kemi is, so just a disclaimer, Kemi doesn't do interviews. As she said, she didn't want to come, she didn't want to be here.
I don't. How many interviews have you seen me do?
Okay.
I don't do interviews.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You feel when you first started as a radio presenter, did you think you would end up where you are now?
No, definitely not. And then even when I was a TV presenter, I didn't think I was going to end up where I am now. When I used to DJ, I didn't think I was going to end up where I was now. But I do understand that it was the journey of purpose for me to get to where I am. Mm-hmm. God needed to throw me into situations that dragged me to where I am at the end, which is here. And I know for a fact that this is where I'm supposed to be. But then if I didn't go through that journey, I wouldn't have ended up here.
Let's start from like the very beginning. So the first time you showed up on TV, you were 9 and you were in Omar advert.
9 and 11, yeah.
And I know your dad used to work in advertising.
Yeah, he still does.
So tell me a little bit about your childhood. I know you're very, very close to your parents. You talk about them all the time. Your mother is the king woman.
Yeah.
How do you think your childhood shaped who you are now?
How did my childhood shape who I am now? I mean, definitely influences from my parents. I get my sense of humor and my creative side most probably definitely from my dad. And from my mom, I get my strength and boldness and thirst for success from her. And one of the things she told me from when I was very little is you have to have your own thing. She always used to do like this and put her hand. You have to have your own thing so nobody will be able to bluff you. Yeah. And then you see this person, she's one of the first African female engineers. She went to 2 Ivy League schools, Columbia and Cornell. She was very brilliant. And then she'd go to all this, when they come back from conferences and they'll have those albums with all the pictures. And I'll see my mom's pictures from the conferences, and she's the only woman in the group when they take their group pictures. And they're all like big pot-bellied men in front, bald-headed, and then she's there with her gilly at the back, And there's something that does for a young little girl. So it's a great mixture of both.
Yeah. I want to talk a little about going first into even the industry. I know you studied law in school. So how did you what made you decide to go into radio at first?
If I should start telling my journey.
Tell it, that's what we're here for.
It'll actually take a lot of time because, like I said, when I really honestly believe that my entire life and the course of my journey in this industry is God ordained. I'm not joking, because every time when I started and every time I took a leap into something else, it was by mistake. I didn't want to be on the radio. I never thought about being on the radio. I loved music because I grew up in a very musical family. I told you I have a huge music library even till now. And someone said, "Oh, you speak very well and you talk on the radio. So you speak very well and you know a lot about music." I remember I came, there were like 20, 25 other people that really wanted the job. And I remember, I think it was Roy Bruce, and we had a conversation. He's like, "So this is how much you're going to pay every month." I was like, "That's not in me." Took my bag and I took your lawyer bag and walked out, right? And then a few days later, because we'd messed about with an audition, but anyway, a few days later, they called me and said, "Oh, you start on Saturday." And literally that's where it started. Moving to TV, the same thing. Moving to film, the same thing.
Okay, so I want to talk about the transition from being in front of the camera, because you did presenting and 53 Extra and Maltina, dance, and then you decide to go to New York Film Academy. What happened between being in front of the camera and then wanting to move behind
Another lucky mistake. So when I was a presenter, I was always, and we had to go on shoots and things like that, I was always very intrigued by the camera. If I remember correctly, that particular year before I went into film school was one of the toughest when it came to work, because I was working back to back and I was traveling. I was emotionally, mentally exhausted and I needed a break. Okay. Now, prior to that, I was worried about my longevity in the game, which is so silly because I was like, at that time, maybe 25 or something. I don't understand why I'm worried about my longevity. Now, what I wanted to go to was television school. Okay. So I said I was going to take a break. I was going to take a year break. But then while being the kind of person that I am, why don't I get an additional knowledge? Okay. Just, for keeps. And television school, and because my entire family is in New York, so it was like, oh, and go there. And it took me a week to find out, like, you're in film school. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, I thought this was television school. Yeah. Like, nope, this is film. And I was like, oh man. I was like, okay, maybe I'll just learn some things and then I'll be able to transfer it into television. And what would happen is you'd have a lecture, let's say on a Monday or something. They'll teach you some, and then they'll put you into groups. And then over the weekend, you all will have to shoot each other's film. And we'll all critique. Your course advisor will critique. His name is Claude Curvin. Yeah. And after like the third and fourth week of doing that, when mine had finished screening and then they turned back on the lights for everyone to talk about it, he turns to me and he like literally looks at me like that. And he goes, has anyone told you like you have a knack or special gift for telling stories? And I'm like, no. And he goes, yes, you do. You got to pay attention to that. That was the very first time I heard it. And ever since that very moment, this is like, 12, 13 years ago. Ever since that very moment, I've heard it constantly.
So when that happened in that moment, right, you stumbled into this thing. What were you planning on doing after the year when you came back originally?
Do you know, I really can't remember. Okay. But I think it was coming back into presenting and then being able to use the knowledge somewhere down the line. If I remember correctly, it's been such a long time. I remember I was graduating and I went up to him with as humble as I could to just say thank you, because I don't think he understood what he did for me. He literally awakened something in me. And I was like, Claude, I just want to say thank you so much for blah, blah, blah. And he goes, don't tell me thank you. I don't want to thank you. I don't want to thank you. You want to thank me?
Just do the work.
No, you want to thank me when you win your first Oscar, because I know you're going to win an Oscar. Wow. I want you to mention my name on stage.
Wow, that's brilliant. We're going to talk about the Oscar dream because I know you've put it out there. Yeah. And how hard was it to actually penetrate the, directing industry?
It wasn't hard. It's like, so, I mean, I think the hardest part was the first thing that I got, which is another, like, let me say something. If I tell you about my life and my journey in this thing, and then and that's why when sometimes I see things and people just go, oh, she's lucky, or it's a fluke, or whatever it is, y'all don't understand, so like even the first time that my first official, music video that I directed or project that I directed alone, which was, for the Hip Hop World Awards. I think it was '09. Yes, right? Exactly. And they had Banky, had Emma, it had so many people in it. And the only reason why I even knew about it was because Banky and I were presenting that year. And then they had this theme song that they wanted to make a music video for. I said, do you know now I'm a director? I was like, yeah, Kemi. So when you come out on stage, you're going to stand here.
I mean, that's the thing, right? A lot of people know you in this light. Yes. So how did they finally believe that you can actually do this?
Because, and I say it all the time when I'm giving talks, I got given a chance and I knocked it out the park. So everybody's always going to get a chance. It might not be convenient, but once you get that chance and when you take up the responsibility of that moment, you have to knock it out the park.
Was there a desire or a need to want to actually do both the presenting and the directing, and how were you able to let go of the presenting side?
It was so easy. Like I was telling you, I am petrified of being in the spotlight. I don't like it. Yeah. I don't mind being noticed. I don't like being the center of attention. I have a morbid anxiety for public speaking. Being out to see all these people that are looking at me right now, it makes me shy. I'm actually a very, very shy person.
Is it shy, Kemi? I don't think that's the word.
No, I'm extremely shy. I asked if my two films, Wedding Party and King of Boys, I asked if I had to be at the premieres. Like, I don't understand why I had to be at the premiere. Yeah. I really honestly don't get it. And then when people call for interviews and things like that, I don't understand why people want to talk to me.
Because I think it's also the fact that you have a desire to want to know the mind behind the one that's creating this work.
But I'm giving you through my work.
No, that's just the art.
Yes, exactly.
And in terms of the art, specifically for Wedding Party, I mean, did you know that it was going to be... Did you know that it was going to be such a hit?
Yes.
What was it about it that made you
I knew it was going to be a new King of Boys. I knew all my films, everything I touched, because I've said anything I touch return to God. I already knew anything I touch would be a hit, because that is my grace. But did I understand that it was going to be that crazy? No. I mean, it would scare you. It scared me,
Why didn't you do Wedding Party 2?
Because I was working on King of Boys.
Did you have a desire? Did you feel like you Did you feel like you were letting go of your baby?
No. Let me tell you why. And it goes back again to purpose. I never touch any project if I don't feel that it's mine. Okay. I didn't feel Wedding Party 2 was mine.
Interesting.
God did not tell me to do it. And everybody thought I was crazy. My parents thought I was crazy.
I mean, how can you say it's almost like, you know, you have a newborn baby.
Yes.
The baby.
Don't worry. Everybody thought my parents.
And then you say bye-bye.
They started conversations with me. But then, and then it goes again to show, I'm sorry I keep talking about it, but it goes again to show direction and purpose, because you have to remember, hindsight is always 20/20. King of Boys is not King of Boys what it is now.
I understand.
King of Boys was just this idea.
It was a script, a paper.
It was a script, it was a paper that everywhere, it was not comedy. Already, you know, everybody's already like, this one is different, so I don't know. So, but then there was this belief in me, in my gut, that held on the entire time, that this was what I was meant to do. This movie is going to do very well. This movie is going to be a marker, until it got released. That's where my faith.
I want to talk about King of Boys. I mean, you're right. It broke all the records. You made a lot of money. What are you buying me? Where's my present? I'm carrying her shoe after this.
Can I come and take it?
You said you know that anything you touch is going to be a hit.
By God's grace.
By God's grace, right? But you have a script and a story that is very, very different from the formula that usually works. How hard was it to convince your investors, your partners, to go in on you with this? Okay, so
King of Boys was different for me across the board. I wanted to own King of Boys, so I have minority investors, so I own King of Boys to like the very, when it comes to percentage, maybe like late 80s or early 90s, you know. So I own King of Boys. So it was one of those things, putting your money where your mouth is, which goes back again to belief and faith, because I didn't want to have to convince anybody. I didn't want to have to, and I also wanted to make the calls that were needed to take this film where I felt it should go. So I didn't want to have to ask anybody, should I do this? I didn't want to ask can I post this? I just
wanted to be in control of the whole project.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And and that's what happened with this project.
Do you feel like female directors have different experiences from male directors?
That's a trick question for me. I never engage in that conversation. And the reason why I never engage in it is not because I don't understand the reality of the industry, but I rather see the bigger picture.
Okay.
And the bigger picture is there are young girls looking for mentors or looking for people to look up to. By God's grace, I am in a position, I don't ever want them to see me on record talking about how hard it is.
Okay.
I'd rather have them see me on record saying, despite any obstacles, I'm here, and I didn't have to sleep with anyone to be here. I didn't have to do anything against my principles. The only thing that was needed was dedication and hard work. And that's what I want them to take away with. That no matter the obstacles, everyone will have it. Male, female, black, blue, goat, cow.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather them see or hear me talk about the fact that despite anything that might be the reality of the industry, I am here.
Kemi, King of Boys Part 2 is coming out. I saw it. It said King of Boys is coming again. Let's talk about Part 2.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I talking about your Insta stories that I was watching the other day.
Whose Insta story?
Yours.
Mine.
Yes, your own. So what are the plans? I mean, are we getting a Part 2? Were you just trying to tease us? Were you just trying to make us feel...
Do you guys have coffee on this?
Were you just lying to us? Is Part 2 coming out?
All I will tell you is I'm working on 2 films at the moment.
You're working on 2 films at the moment.
Yes.
If there was a Part 2, what would happen to the king woman? What would happen to her character?
She'll be king now. I don't know. Like, you have to watch the film.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you want from me. I know it's the juice and all, but...
What's the storyline? Like, I mean, generally, you're just like...
I don't know what you're talking about, lady.
Okay. Kemi, everyone loves you.
I don't know where you got that.
And I want to find out, we talk a lot about our love life, dating, and we've had like a few conversations here and there. Do you want to get married?
I would love to get married to my soulmate and partner.
Okay.
I have nothing against marriage. I would love to get married and have a family with the person that is meant for me, you know, the person that I can support and can support me as well, you know. The only time I will not want marriage is if it's something that I would be stifled in. I wouldn't be able to create the way that I do. I would lose myself to make somebody else whole. Those are the only situations and circumstances I will not want marriage, or something that will end up in a divorce. Anything that is swelling and beautiful and amazing, of course, please put C's.
Are you dating anyone now?
No, and I will say that because, you know, I don't want to spoil my market. So yes, I ain't dating nobody.
So just what's one trait that you look for in a guy? Just one. On your list, I know, or just one thing that you look for that makes you attracted to a guy. Even though you have a list. I mean, there are different things.
It doesn't have to be
anything.
It doesn't have to be like the main thing or something.
Yeah, not the main thing, just anything.
Yeah. So I don't have to say God fearing or
yeah.
But something I know that definitely a really good sense of humor.
Yeah.
I love, because I don't take myself seriously at all. I am a goofball. Like, I am really silly, and I can't come and kill myself. So a really good sense of humor would have me do a double take every time. Like, hey, hold on, you know.
Yeah. What do your parents, you know, slightly from time to time ask you about the marriage issue? Do they just say, my dad
never has. My dad never ever has. There was only one time I had a heartbreak, and he and I don't even engage in that kind of thing, but conversation. But then for some reason, I needed to talk to my dad.
Yeah.
And he came around and it's like, I've never told you this, but then, like, do not get married unless it's the right thing to do.
Wow.
Like, I would never mention it to you. That's why I never mention, I never pressure it, because I know already, even in great marriages, how difficult it is. Like, don't ever feel pressured to go into that situation unless you know that it's the right one. My mom wants me to be happy. My mom, I think she's more because she's a woman. She also is anybody else, you know. But no, never pressure. I think the only thing would be, do you want to have kids? It's something to be conscious about now as you're getting older, which is a realistic question or conversation to have. But aside from that, no, I have like, and then that's not the reason why I'm, you know, the reason why I'm like this is because I am waiting for the right person, and it has to be the person that fits into my life, and I fit into that person's life as well. I don't think I'm more important than any other person in the relationship. And then I don't want to ever feel like somebody else is more important than me as well.
That's beautiful, and I trust that it's gonna happen. You'll invite us to the wedding.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna have my cake and eat it, because you know, like,
you're gonna have your cake and eat it.
I'm gonna have my cake and eat it, because the thing about it is, and I sometimes I look back and I go, would I be able to have achieved so much if you know, and I don't know. I don't think so.
There's a time and a season for everything.
You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah.
We speaking it into the universe. Kemi, we're gonna play a game. Would you rather? So I'm gonna say, would you rather be this or would you rather be that? And you just answer which one you would rather be. Okay, would you rather be a Jedi in Star Wars or be a Hobbit in The Lord of the Rings?
I think a Hobbit in The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I think so too. Would you rather live in The Matrix or enter dreams in Inception?
No, Inception was a little bit too. My anxiety could barely take it, so I'll do the other one.
You'll do the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. Inception. Enter dreams in Inception.
No. I don't want Inception.
Oh, you want to be in The Matrix?
Yes, I
really.
Be in The Matrix, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right then. Would you?
I think the ending of Inception really messed me up.
It did.
Yeah. So
we never know what happened.
It was just too much, and that's one of my favorite endings for films.
Would you rather be a member of Avengers or would you rather be a member of the Justice League?
Avengers.
I know, right? I know. Justice League is like, who cares about Justice League? Okay. Would you rather own Woody from the Toy Story or own a Minion from Despicable Me?
I'd have to say Minion because my nephew Zuri loves the Minions.
Oh, and I know you love Zuri.
Yeah, so I have to do that. And then Zuri and I have a pact.
Yeah.
And then he and I are going to direct Minions 3. And I don't know how I got myself into this contract. Cute. So he and I are going to direct Minions 3.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. Would you rather attend Hogwarts in Harry Potter or go to Narnia in the Chronicles of Narnia?
I think Narnia.
Really? Do you like the snow? You like the cold?
No, I don't like cold, but it seems more fantasy, dreamlike. you know, I don't know. I just prefer that aesthetic as opposed to the other one.
Kemi, describe your life in a hashtag before we go.
Great stuff.
Great stuff. Yes. I like it. Congratulations on everything. Thank you so much, Kemi, for coming on The Juice and for sharing with us. I know King of Boys script part 2 is done. I think it's going to be called King is Coming Again or something like that. You guys heard it right here for the first time on The Juice. Comment down below and let me know who you would love to see in one of Kemi's upcoming films. We want to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching The Juice. My name is Bolanle and I will see you next time.